Hi everyone, this is Leonardo Gamer from Luigi Cogitandi. Today I'm going to teach how to play Pets Rescue, the first of my game designs that I decided to publish. Pets Rescue is a family-oriented card game for 2 to 4 players. Each game takes about 15 to 20 minutes to be played, although it can take longer if one or more players enjoy analyzing all the possibilities carefully. That is, players will have plenty of opportunities to make decisions during the game. During a game of Pets Rescue, you and your opponents adopt pets and collect point scoring opportunities, with the goal of having the most points at the end of the game. The game setup contains 5 steps. Step 1. Separate the 5 starting cards from the rest of the deck. These 5 starting cards can be identified by the golden name tag on the front side and the playing aid on their backs. Shuffle these 5 cards and give one to each player. Every player looks at their starting card, but keeps the content hidden from their opponents. Each player will choose the orientation of their starting card only in the scoring phase at the end of the game. The orientation of each card determines if it counts as a point scoring opportunity, in case it's placed vertically, or as adopted pets, in case it's oriented horizontally. During the game, the starting card is kept face down in the player individual tableau, where it serves as a playing aid. Step 2. Shuffle all the other 59 cards and create a face-down deck, which will be the main supply of cards during the game. Step 3. The action in this step depends on the number of players, and the playing aid contains a summary of this information. For 2 players, return to the box the 3 unused starting cards and 29 cards from the deck, keeping 30 cards in play. For 3 players, return to the box the 2 unused starting cards and 11 cards from the deck, keeping 48 cards in play. For 4 players, place the unused starting card on top of the deck, as all cards are actually used. Step 4. Take cards from the top of the deck to create a central grid of face-up cards containing as many rows and columns as the number of players plus 1. For instance, in a 3-player game, form a 4x4 grid of cards. And finally, step 5, randomly select the starting player, who will be the first lead player. Give the purple meeple to that player. Every turn, the lead player selects either a full row or a full column of cards from the central grid, using the meeple to indicate which row or column was selected. The lead player takes one of those cards and places it in their individual tableau, oriented either vertically for the point scoring opportunity or horizontally for the adopted pets. The next player onwards, in clockwise order, takes one of the remaining cards in the selected row or column, placing it in their individual tableau, oriented either vertically or horizontally. The last card is taken by the lead player, who must place it horizontally in their individual tableau. Once a card is placed in a player's individual tableau, it cannot be rotated to a new orientation. The central grid is then fully replenished with new cards from the deck. The lead player in the next turn is the one to the left of the current lead player. The game proceeds with consecutive turns until the central grid can no longer be replenished. At that point, all players will have exactly the same number of cards in their tableaus, and the scoring phase begins. Each player reveals their starting card and chooses the orientation in which that card is added to their individual tableau. Players add their points, and the winner is the player with the most points. In case of a tie, those players share the victory. Let's analyze an example of final scoring on this 2-player game. Coincidentally, throughout the game, both players chose 4 cards for point scoring and the remaining ones for pets. The easiest card to score is the second one on the screen, which gives 1 point per rabbit on the left and right neighbor tableaus. In a 2-player game, your only opponent is both your left and right neighbor, so this card gets counted twice. We can see that the other player has adopted 4 rabbits, which gives a total of 8 points for that card. In order to score the other 3 cards, the player needs to decide how to transform that unicorn at the bottom left corner. This decision should lead to the highest possible total score, which in this case is driven by the creation of the most sets shown on the 3rd and 4th scoring cards. This player already has 4 birds, 3 tortoises, 5 dogs, 2 rabbits, and 2 dogs, which means that both scoring cards contain 2 complete sets. In this case, that unicorn can be transformed to either an extra dog or an extra rabbit for the same end result. Let's transform it into a dog then. The 3rd scoring card gives 6 points for the 2 complete sets, and the 4th scoring card gives 9 points for the 3 complete sets. The 1st scoring card gives 4 points for every set of 4 different pet types, including the unicorns transformed into regular pets. We can see that this player has a total of 16 regular pets and a unicorn. If the unicorn was not there, all pets would need to fit in all sets in order to reach 4 total sets. But there are 5 cats, and one of those sets would then contain a repeated pet type. Also, if the unicorn was transformed into a cat, only 3 sets of 4 different types would be possible. Luckily, or skillfully, that unicorn has been transformed into a dog, which means that there are 4 sets containing 4 different pet types for a total of 16 points. The total points for this player is 39. Let us now score the points for the other player. The 1st scoring card does not depend on unicorn transformations, as seen in the cat symbol without a dashed purple box around it. This player's opponent has adopted 5 cats, which gives 10 points for that scoring card. The 4th scoring card also does not depend on transformations. It gives 4 points if this player has adopted an odd number of tortoises, and -1 point otherwise. Given that this player adopted 3 tortoises, this card scores 4 points. The 3rd scoring card gives 5 points for every set of 5 different pet types. By observing the adopted pets, we can see that the least pets of the 5 regular types are the cats and birds, with 2 samples each. Therefore, it's advantageous for this player to transform one of the unicorns into a cat and the other one into a bird. With these transformations, this player completes 3 sets containing 5 different pet types for a total of 15 points. The 2nd scoring card gives 2 points per adopted rabbit and -1 point for adopted bird, where both scores include unicorns transformed into rabbits or birds. This player scores 8 points for the rabbits and -3 points for the birds. The total points for this player is 34, which is 5 points short of those scored by the opponent player. Other types of scoring cards are shown here. This card gives 5 points if the player has adopted either the most or the least birds throughout the game, and -1 point otherwise. Notice that the criterion for determining most or least depends on the number of players in the game. The playing aid explains how to make such a determination. This card gives 2 points for every pet type which the player has adopted either 1 or 2 pets. Notice that unicorns transformed into pets do not count for this scoring card. This card gives 2 points for every pet type containing 2 or more pets, including transformed pets. And finally, this card scores -1 point if the player only has 1 teddy bear, 1 point per teddy bear if the player has 2 teddy bears, and 4 points per teddy bear if the player has 3 or more teddy bears. In addition to the scoring cards, these other cards trigger special actions during the game, and their behavior is explained in the rulebook. I hope you have fun playing Pets Rescue, while I go back to designing my next game.